Alright guys, it's time to another update on price of Bitcoin, and I must say that recently I started to be a little bit more bullish than before. You remember I made a video that I posted maybe a couple of days ago saying that in this area below $9,000 we have a lot of the important levels, a lot of the moving averages, and if we'll go there we'll probably break much lower than that. So we will either have a massive correction from this point or we will not go there at all, in my opinion. In addition to that, I was going to mention the indicators today and how they look like, because I think we have a little bit more bullishness at the moment. I must say that we are actually approaching the apex of this triangle, well, not the triangle, but some kind of wedge over here, and this upper part is being tested once again, and we are going to test it even more. So maybe within a couple of days we will see the resolution of this situation, and also we are continuing to hover around the same level of 61.8% on Fibonacci for quite a while. So we need to either have a pullback from here to the upside, or we need to see the continuation of the drop. Some people may actually draw a potential bearish flag over here, with the target being like $8,700, $8,600. Of course this is possible, but here is what I was going to mention in particular about the indicators. So we are looking at RSI, stochastic, and MACD on a daily time frame because it's one of the most substantial ones, especially these days. So what do we see here? First of all, there is almost no divergences on RSI, on stochastic, neither bullish nor bearish. But for MACD there is a little bit of a divergence on the histogram. You see this low is almost the same as this low. If you will zoom in, then you will see it's like 103 and 104, so they are pretty much equivalent, but for the price the lows are going down. So in principle you can treat it as a potential divergence in favor of bulls. And moreover, if we look at the examples of divergences, for instance, a strong one was at the beginning of the bear market when we had the lows on MACD going up and lows on price going down, and then at the end of this divergence we saw the major pullback, like 100% pullback from $6,000 to almost $12,000, resolving it to the growth. So that means that if we have some divergence on MACD, it often getting resolved in a pretty substantial way. But this is another thing which I was going to mention. So you see, for example, MACD itself, it actually very low in terms of its absolute value. The last time it was here and we had the major correction of this drop, and then in principle during the whole bull market we didn't have such low values of MACD. So again, it's either the point when we will go much lower, which by the way would probably imply the fact that this low and this low would make a bullish divergence with MACD, and then at the point of the reversal we would have to decide whether we need to take risk and buy on this divergence, and would be probably a very nice deal, nice trade. Another point for stochastic, it's also very low, and moreover it is formed a bullish crossover over here. So the last time when it was so low, it was at the beginning of this year when the bull market just started, and actually almost every time when you find it that low you can see the eventual resolution in price to the upside. Well, this was quite a flat region and then finally going up. At this point it was up. At this point price also moved to the upside. At this point massive rally over here. At this point our correction to the upside. So statistically that would mean that we should go up, not down. The same, pretty much the same with RSI. RSI is very low right now. Previous time it was that low in the beginning of February, just at the start of the bull market. And moreover, if you will zoom in, then you will see that the lows on RSI are going down starting from April pretty much, and they are still going lower and lower, while for the price the lows were actually going up, and they are still going up. And although you can't really say that this is a bullish divergence because the structure of the lows is not ideal and we have like intermediate lows as well, but still the trend is that we kind of overextended for this correction and have a very nice potential to go up. And especially, well, of course you can return to the previous year and see pretty similar situation, for example over here when we had lower lows on RSI, eventually followed by the major drop when RSI went below 20, and of course we could see the same thing right now, but I must say that here the major part of this divergence was almost fully at the period of the correction itself, while here we again had this during the most of the bull market, and this is pretty different from the previous case. So apparently we are at the edge of some strong move. Again, it's not like all those factors makes it bullish to the extent of being like 75% or 80%. It's really hard to estimate. So it's maybe 55-45 or 40-60. It's really hard to tell. But also looking at the volume continuing to go down, we definitely may say that if the move will occur, then it will be very strong. Of course, we can go sideways and all the indicators will have time to relax at some point, but eventually still it will be just the continuation of the accumulation, and some violent move down or up will eventually happen, in my opinion. Still, I think that the bullish scenario is more likely, at least just because of the fact that it was a long growth before that, and we are probably just seeing a correction. And of course, maybe I'm just a bit biased, and don't forget that everything which I say is my personal opinion, not a financial advice, guys. But in any case, just wanted to share with you those thoughts, and I will continue to look at the situation and keep you updated. That is it for today. Thank you for watching.